Welcome, and this is Anton Dormer, Dr. Dormer, and as I shared with my Facebook family that I will be taking you on a journey and going to create something that is new and unique. As mentioned, I have announced my retirement, and to move on to my next step, of course, I have to have something that I desire to do, passionate about, and I believe in giving back. And so it will take some time to get it configured, but before, I wanted to start a nonprofit, and I kind of went backwards in that I started it, but didn't have any funds. So I reconfigured it to Simple Dormer Bio Institute. My wife and I are working together, and I will be putting in significant funds to make sure that it is developed and it can last for a long time. So the primary mission is to be beyond the cutting edge of bioresearch and science education, especially as it relates to diverse population. And so this is going to be a 501c3 nonprofit, again created by Dr. Anton Dormer and Unit Simple Dormer, my Empress, my beautiful, wonderful wife. And the goal is to cure disease via immunotherapy, which is my research interest, and for either cancer and infectious diseases, and also to provide a platform for science education, how to do better science education among diverse populations. And so one of the things that I always desired as a young child is to own my own building. And so via Simple Dormer Bio Institute, I'm hoping to share this particular vision and that I can have others to join me. And through that, we can create something that is wonderful. So, without further ado, one thing before I continue. I always, as a child, loved to draw, draft buildings, draft, my dream house, and so on and so forth. And so I decided to go ahead and draft my lab. And I'm going to take you to a tour using some 3D. It's not perfect. Most likely I will have to send it to an architect to get the final dimension. But this is something that I decided to do. And thank you very much for coming along. So this is it here. And my goal is by 2022 to build a research lab in Huntsville, Alabama. That's where I desire to retire. And this configuration is approximately about 6,500 square feet. And I'm hoping to build it somewhere in Huntsville, Alabama. That's where my parents are. And this is, in essence, an honor for them because if it was not for their commitment to me, raising me as a child to do great things, I would not even have this particular vision. So this here is the front, and I'm taking you on a tour, and this is the side as I envision, 2 stories, right? And as we go to the back, you can see this here. Let me see if we zoom in a little bit closer. Okay. Of course, when you have a research lab, you always have to have multiple exits. I think that's what you say. And then going back to the front. Okay. So this is the type of building that I want to begin with. Again, relatively small, but for the purposes of being able to do the type of research that I do, I don't really need that much space, and most likely I will work with contract research organizations. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and so that we can enter and get you to the front door. And you get to see some of so welcome. And so as you can see, still trying to work out how to do this thing here. Alright, so this is basically some of the dimensions of the place. So on the first floor, I'm hoping to have a nice lab space, but this is just the first floor, conference room. And as you can see here, through here is the reception area. You say hello to some of my employees. More office space. We're going to the walls here. And I'll give you a 2D version of the more office space that leads directly into the lab area. Okay. Of course, it's very important that you have places like a lounge. Let me see if I can find that for you. The back stairwell, of course, it will look a little bit different than that. And let's go into the lounge area. It's kitchen. Refrigerator, etc. Of course, you have to have the restrooms. And so, this is the second floor. That's how the first floor, I envision it looking. So, a hallway, again, to the back. Again, within the first floor, an area of space so that individuals can relax, etc. So that is the first floor. So let me go to 2D very quick. So on the second floor, a large open space, and this will be filled with lab benches, offices, more offices. This is the stairwell area. Over this particular area, you have a lounge, which is upstairs, and then of course restroom, another lab space area here at the back stairwell. And I want to be a very large walk-in closet, but this particular program doesn't have all of that. And then more place for tissue culture, rooms, the autoclave room, and of course we have to have a backstage for a back room for our freight elevator or passenger elevator. Okay, let's look at the first floor. So this is the dimension of the first floor. Here's back stairwell, smaller lab space with the elevator upstairs, another lab space here, could be possibly tissue culture, should throw in a refrigerator, conference room, reception area, and then more offices, bathrooms, lounge downstairs. And I showed you in 3D the lobby area, and I'm hoping to have this particular space to have visitors, receptions, etc. So not the world's largest lab, but It probably would cost between 1 to 1.5 million in Huntsville, Alabama, and I plan to put up the whole thing. And my goal will be to raise up to $5 million. So as I mentioned, I will pay for the building myself, and then I desire to raise another $4 million to endow the research lab, and begin to hire an individual and grow slowly. This could be one of many, or I could be satisfied with this. And I want to be able to do all different types of immunotherapy research. One of the biggest areas of research is called CART T cells, in which allows for the genetic change of T cells to target particular tumors. Very much interested in that. Right now, my focus is peptide immunotherapy. All right. Let's see, what else can we see? And then we go back to the 3D mode. And so this is my vision. One of my heroes, Elon Musk. I look at his TED Talk, and it's so amazing about all the things that he is doing. He started the Boring Company, thinking about putting a underground traffic congestion relieving facility under the city of Los Angeles. Very, very impressive. And so you have to have vision. You have to believe that it can be done. And then by believing it can be done, it can be done. So if you believe it, you can achieve it. So I just want you to take one more look through this. The computer is a little bit slow, and but just to get some understanding of what my vision is. Again, I hope to build this in Huntsville, Alabama, where I grew up. And just looking at the top view of the 2 floors, looking down to the first floor on the bottom. Again, this is the front view. Let me zoom back a little bit. Let's look at the first floor. Okay. And let's take one last look at the top floor before I go. And I'm hoping that you have enjoyed this video and come along with me on this journey. One of the final things that I truly like to say is that success is defined not by how many times one has fallen. Success is defined by how one gets up after they have fallen. And that getting up is always with head held high, just out with pride to go forth to help those that desires your help, that desire your help as a servant leader. So my humble goal is to be a servant leader, to serve others, and this is the capacity that I desire to do so by building an entity that will focus on immunotherapy to cure cancers, infectious diseases, prevent cancers and infectious diseases. And we'll be able to help others know that if you believe it, again, you can achieve it. It's up to you to set a forth vision and go forward. And so again, thank you for looking at this video and joining me on this particular journey. Have a good day. Bye-bye.